What's going on? What you got up there? You've been having the juice like.
Yep, and the juice and the tea. No, I'm just playing. I don't really talk on this. So I wanted to go on to do, this is on the spiritual side, right? To see what is like some of these other beliefs. What is atheism? Atheism. So I want to see what because y'all know we love Jesus, but we want to, I'm curious to explore what these other beliefs are. And to see what people out here believe in. All right, let's see.
What does it mean to be an atheist? There are a lot of misconceptions as to what atheism really is. To give just one example, there are some people who consider atheism to be some type of belief system to the same extent as any other religious belief. And this is wrong, and hopefully by the end of this video we will put these misconceptions to rest, and furthermore we will have a better understanding of what possibilities an atheistic approach to life can give you. Now, before I begin, it is necessary for me to state that there might be some elements in this video where some people might have a different understanding than I do, which is completely okay. I therefore invite you to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, so first on the agenda, let's define atheism. And this is really quite simple. If we take a look at the word theism, this word describes a belief in some type of deity, supreme being, or God. Now, the two most common belief systems within theism are monotheism and polytheism. Monotheism refers to the belief that only one god or deity exists. For instance, this is found in the Abrahamic religions such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Polytheism refers to the belief that multiple gods or deities exists. Such religions include Hinduism, Shintoism, various tribal religions in Africa, and so on. So, atheism refers to a lack of belief in any god or deity. So in terms of the previously mentioned misconception about atheism, atheism is not a belief system, it is not a religion. There is no affirmative belief that there is no God, it is simply a rejection of the assertion that there are gods. The reason for this is that there is no evidence for the existence of any god, and as a result of this, some people, not surprisingly, simply lack a belief in gods. Furthermore, the God hypothesis is just not a logically sound explanation, because by inserting a God as an explanation for the existence of everything, you have yet to explain the existence of that God itself. So it is basically adding one problem onto another. Therefore, I would refer to atheism as being simply a state of mind where one doesn't deem it necessary to insert and live by unnecessary, unfactual, and illogical explanations to the deep questions about the world we live in. Because none of us knows the answers to these deep questions, such as what happens when we die, how did our universe come about, and so on. All we can do is speculate, wonder, and philosophize about the amazing reality we find ourselves in. Claiming that you know the answers to these questions, which religion tends to do, is simply a symptom of ignorance. Or to be more specific, it is being ignorant of your own ignorance. Because in terms...
But that's not an accurate statement.
Yeah, it's not.
There are numerous people that have had the experience of afterlife experiences.
I've been to hell before, so if there's a hell, there's a hell.
So there are people that have been taken to hell, and there are people who have been taken to heaven.
Haven't been.
Multiple people. So that debunks that statement.
Absolutely. Let's go.
In terms of these
I'm waiting to see the comment section on this one too.
Yes.
questions, we all have one fundamental thing in common. We all know nothing about this. So atheism is really just the recognition of this basic fact, that we simply have no idea. And therefore atheism is really the default position until the burden of proof of any other explanation is met. So, now that we have defined what atheism is, we can go deeper into what this point of view offers. And here we encounter yet another misconception. This misconception evolves around atheists having a lack of belief, and I will sum it up with the following questions. The worldview of an atheist must be pretty depressing and uninteresting, since they don't believe in anything. And what is the point of living your life if you don't believe that there is an afterlife? But before I address this, it is important for me to state that I don't speak on behalf of atheism. As I have mentioned before, atheism isn't some type of united belief system. There is no sacred atheistic scripture or the Pope of atheism. No, nobody thinks completely alike. We all have our own understanding of the life we lead and the perspective we have on the reality we find ourselves in. What I want to do is to share my viewpoint as to what possibilities I think an atheistic approach to life can give you. So when it comes to the viewpoint that atheism must be depressing and uninteresting because of the lack of belief, I would say quite the contrary. The recognition of the basic fact that there are some aspects about our world that we have no knowledge of, we can call it the gaps in our understanding of reality, isn't depressing or uninteresting at all.
No, that sounds completely depressing or uninteresting, because not only that, so you don't believe in God, you think you have, I think atheism is a lazy approach of spirituality. I think the fact that it's so, I don't know which one to choose, let me sit back and default and just wait. And let me just think that when I die, I think that's scarier than anything, just to think you're going to die and everything just go black. That's scarier than the heaven and hell. Because heaven and hell know that there's a tangible, physical place that your spirit, that your soul is going to go. They just believe somebody hit you with a car right now, black, no existence. That's scary.
I feel like, I don't necessarily think it's lazy.
I think
they
it's
actually
lazy.
do more work to disprove what's already been proven.
Yeah.
So they have to find information to back up, or what they think is backing up their claim as to, like he said, the evidence of certain things that are unknown. They can ask a million questions about things that they say there's no proof of, and then want to debunk you based off of their lack of knowledge when it comes to that no faith base. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say it's lazy. I think they actually do over an abundance of research to try to disprove what's already been proven.
But the lack of the belief side, I feel, is lazy. It's like, since I don't know, I can't. Since a person says this is me talking as third person, that's not me. They're saying, I don't believe something. There's a big God out there. So let me just work my hardest to prove there's no big God. Versus, it'll take them less time to have a relationship with God than it takes them to dig in all that crap to debunk it. That's an empty place.
Try to debunk it.
If anything, it is compelling, fascinating, and captivating. It is, if not the greatest stimuli of our human instinctive curiosity.
How?
Instead of inserting a god as an explanation when it comes to these gaps in our knowledge about our world that we haven't yet or perhaps never will be able to explain empirically, we should be open to the idea that everything, truly everything, is possible when it comes to answering these deep questions. Since none of us here on planet Earth actually possess the required knowledge in order to truly answer these questions, we then shouldn't be fixated on one simple...
That's another thing that's not true. Just because you don't know.
You
don't know a person on this earth that possesses knowledge. There are people that God has given the ability to know and has showed. So what you don't know is just you.
And there's been research that supports that Christ lived.
No, for sure.
So there is scientific proof that he existed.
Yeah, they have it now.
They have it.
They have it now.
So I'm saying clearly this person is truly absent of.
But that's the atheist.
Truly absent of knowledge and what's current and facts.
That's atheist.
And real facts.
Explanation that, in terms of religion, simply is rooted in a mixture of wishful thinking and the power apparatus of ancient theocracy. And that is really what separates believers from non-believers. You can either be fixated on one simple explanation, which often leads to people sacrificing a great part of their quality of life due to whatever set of rules that follows their indoctrinated belief system, or even worse, sacrificing other people's quality of life with set rules that must be applied on everyone. Or you could come to the realization that everything is possible, which really can lead to some interesting thoughts and conversations if you enjoy philosophizing about the
but
deeper
everything is not
aspects of
beneficial.
life.
That's what the word says. So
One explanation could be that the entire
everything is permissible, but everything is not
15
beneficial.
seconds.
Right.
That's what the word says.
Yep.
So you're right.
You can do anything you want to do.
What you want, because that's the free will he gives you. But you can't control the consequence based off your choice.
Correct.
How about that?
Ago with the memory of a lifetime and you watching this video planted inside of your head. Another explanation could be that we are in fact living inside a computer simulation, so basically all we consist of is ones and zeros, and the God we should be praising isn't some holy deity. No, it could be a slightly overweight, middle-aged programmer with Cheetos smeared all over his entire face. But I'm pretty sure he won't be answering any prayers either. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is true or makes any sense at all.
No.
These are mere two possible explanations out of really an infinite amount. The point is that we don't have any way of knowing if any of these explanations are true, and the same goes for the God hypothesis. So there really isn't any reason why one should spend their whole life with the delusion that the one explanation they have planted inside of their head is the real deal. Now, I know that some explanations might seem more probable than others, and I guess this is where the interesting thoughts and conversations really can bear fruit, and it is here we can try and fulfill our curiosity by seeking the most likely or perhaps best available explanations that we can gather from our observable universe, as long as we are all aware that the conclusions one might draw from their own reasoning is not something that can, as of now, be verified or tested, and therefore it is not something that qualifies as being the truth. Therefore, we should never settle for the easiest or perhaps most comforting explanations. We shouldn't get fixated on one simple explanation, especially if it's one that's not logically sound. No, we should be open to all possibilities and thrive on our curiosity, and not just put a lid on it with something easy and inconsiderate. But what is the point of living your life if you don't believe in anything, not even an afterlife? Being an atheist doesn't necessarily mean that one doesn't believe in anything. It just means a lack of belief in gods, as I have mentioned. Now, just because one doesn't believe in anything in particular, not being fixated on one single belief, doesn't mean that that life is not worth living. Just as with the idea of there not being a God, with atheism there is no affirmative belief that there is no God. It's just that there is no evidence that points in the direction of there being a God. And also it's just not a logically sound explanation, as I have also previously mentioned. The same applies to the idea of there being some form of afterlife. With atheism there is no affirmative belief that there is no afterlife. It's just that nothing really points in that direction. The only thing we truly can confirm, however, is that we have this life that we know of, for a limited period of time, and this is regardless of what you believe.
Incorrect.
So in terms of the question, what is the point of such a life? Well, the way I look at it is that this makes life so much more worth.
And this video is all the supernatural things that speak to an entity God, the Creator, has created.
Everything about the video says speaks God.
How can you say
except for his
unanswered
words?
Questions? How did a seagull get here? How did the water get in
Big
the
Bang
ocean?
just made birds.
Then you got the
Eukaryotes.
mountains back there. He's showing what's appearing to be outer space, a galaxy.
A ball floating just in the middle of nowhere.
Where we at?
Nothing under it.
What?
Nothing on the side. Nothing on the side. Nothing on the top.
What day and time is it? Because man had to create time so we can have a society and function, because there's no really...
God created time.
I'm saying, but we have, I know that, but I'm saying time, God's time and our time is not the same.
Yeah, he
So
operates
really,
outside of time.
Right.
Yeah, we do. We operate in it.
So we can have a function in a world so we can have a world
Yeah.
with, and function. But technically, is this the right year? Is this the right time? Like when did it really ever start? You know what I'm saying? We could go deep, but let's not go there.
It's impossible to infinite God. I'm gonna stop it right there. Even though it's a few minutes, I don't see what else can say outside. But I want to read this Bible scripture for you. Yes. Let me read this. Give y'all this Bible scripture. So this is what God says. I was reading in Psalms 14 said. Psalms 14. This is 14:1. Only fools say in their heart, there is no God. They are corrupt and their actions are evil. Not one of them does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on the entire human race. He looks to see if anyone is truly wise, if anyone seeks God. But no, all have turned and all have become corrupt. No one does good, not a single one. This is Old Testament. Will those who do evil never learn? They eat up my people like bread and wouldn't think of praying to the Lord. Terror will grip them, for God is with those who obey him. The wicked frustrate the plans of the oppressed, but the Lord will protect his people. Who will come from Mount Zion to rescue Israel? The Lord restores his people. Jacob will shout with joy, and Israel will rejoice.
Well,
thank God for Jesus. That's what I'm going to say for y'all.
There's scientific proof and that Christ exists, and there are gobs of people. It's numerous amount of people that have testimonies as to their afterlife, after death experience.
Yeah, I believe the easiest thing for an atheist to do, this is the easiest thing. It don't take a whole bunch of paperwork, research, digging, listen to other people that are lost. It's easiest thing to do. Get on your knees, say, God, if you real, I ain't saying that you real, but if you real, prove yourself to me. Show me that you. And guess what he gonna do? He gonna show you, because he gonna know that your heart doesn't know him. So he's going to look towards you and give you exactly that way quicker than a person that might know him. The person that doesn't know him, he wants you to know him and respond to you way faster.
And I'm gonna say too, don't deny whatever that sign is or whatever the thing is that he reveals to you.
Yeah.
Don't just shove it out and be like, oh yeah, this is that. No, it's not. When you pray and you ask that thing, be ready to receive.
Yep. That's what I had to say, man. When you have to go, it's not Acts Cleave, it's not Vision Unsealed. I'm just saying, this is just pretty much. I want to go through a lot of these different beliefs and just see what the Bible say about them too, and then some. We just want to talk about,
Because I really would like to know what draws people and all the supernatural elements that go on around us that man really no control over, like nature, like rain, like snow, like the water, tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes.
Yeah.
What, and so much for all the animals.
Yeah.
How do you explain an elephant, a rhinoceros, a snake, an alligator, a roly-poly? I'm just saying.
How?
It's like man can't create that.
Nope.
Man can only procreate with an egg and a sperm to produce another human being of his like kind. That's the only control, honestly, that we have.
So you gotta. Most male animals have to shoot that one buckshot off.
I think they just try so hard to deny, because for whatever has happened in their life, something is turning them away from what God is. You can't run from the fact of evidence. And the evidence of God is in nature. Girlfriend of mine said that. I was like, you're right. The evidence of God is in nature.
It's in nature.
I mean, come on, don't play.
We can't say don't play, because you're talking and listening to a person that doesn't have what you have. So you can't say don't play.
True, but even if common sense isn't common sense for everybody, but if you have a brain and you can think in your right mind, a sky, no. Okay.
That's why I said, that's why I went back. That's why I told y'all to try him. And then your eyes will be open. Your eyes will be open maybe sooner than you think, which will lead to you. To some people just gonna be willing, just gonna want to unbelieve for the rest of their life, and then they figure out what you get when you die. So anyway, let's go ahead and lead them to water.
Nothing cute. All right, great people. So glad you have joined us for another video. I am ready to go down this road to see what other belief systems are talking about, and I kind of want to know what makes people decide to go that route.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to find out more, give us some comments in the comment section. Check out the link in the comment section with the new merch, Gas, God, a Silent Soldier, and Never Stop Praying. And we'll see you in the next video.